His ship wrecked in a storm. A sailor by the name of Gulliver crawled ashore and promptly fell asleep on the beach of a strange island. As he slept, the people of the island came to stare at him. People no different from you and me, except for the fact that the tallest of them was only 2 inches high. Gulliver was tied down by rope the thickness of strong thread. Before long, Gulliver awoke and jerked his left arm up sharply. He was about to do the same with his right arm when a shower of arrows, like so many pins, hit him in the side of the face. He watched as one of the soldiers, who clearly wanted a medal for bravery, steadily marched across his chest, climbing over the wrinkles of Gulliver's coat. When he was close enough, the soldier fitted an arrow into his bow and took aim at Gulliver's left eye. Not wanting to hurt the little man, Gulliver gently blew on him, which to the soldier felt like a hurricane. Now Gulliver lay still, looking in amusement at his tiny captors. Although he could easily have broken the threads holding him, Gulliver remained without moving, for he was interested in the little people and wanted to learn more about them. Meanwhile, a large platform was wheeled alongside of him, and through the use of cranes and pulleys, he found himself lifted onto the platform and carted away. At the palace, Gulliver met the king and learned that he was in the land of Lilliput. The king marched to within an inch of Gulliver's nose and spoke in a royal voice, which to Gulliver sounded more like a royal whisper.
You are now one of my subjects and must obey my every command.
After giving his solemn promise that he would do no harm, Gulliver was untied. A great shout of excitement came from the people as they gazed up at the visitor, who stood taller than their tallest buildings. At a motion from the king, Gulliver picked him up and held him close to his ear. The king said to Gulliver,
I give you permission to move freely about the countryside, so long as you are careful where you put your feet.
So Gulliver remained in the country of Lilliput for many months, and gradually the Lilliputians grew accustomed to looking up and seeing him suddenly towering over them. He was of great help to the little people, lifting huge stones for building walls and other constructions, and reporting to the king on the exact size of his kingdom, which he measured by pacing off steps around the island. In return, the king ordered new clothes to be made for Gulliver, and 200 tailors went to work on the job. The king also put 300 cooks to the task of keeping Gulliver supplied with food, while 30 servants kept him supplied with wine for his meals. The time passed pleasantly, and Gulliver was much interested in the customs of the tiny people and had many adventures with them. Then one day, the king told Gulliver that he should assist the Lilliputians in their annual war against the people of the neighboring island, the country of Blefuscu.
A very rebellious people,
The king went on,
who have refused to obey the law that states that when breaking an egg, the small end must be cracked first. Obviously, there is no choice but to declare war.
The opposing armies and navies were drawn up for battle. The men, horses, cannons, and ships readied. Learning that the Blefuscans were planning an invasion, Gulliver hit upon a plan for stopping them, for he did not want his new friends hurt. Wading across the channel of water that separated the two islands, Gulliver gathered up the anchor chains of the Blefuscan ships. towed the entire fleet back across the channel and so frightened both armies that the war was ended before it started. Soon after, when a full-sized rowboat was washed up upon the shore, Gulliver decided it was time for him to return to his own country. With great skill, the Lilliputians sewed 100 bed sheets together to make Gulliver a sail for the boat, and gave him food and drink to last a month. When the time came for Gulliver's departure, the king and the entire population of Lilliput came down to the beach to see him off. The king presented Gulliver with his own sword as a souvenir, and Gulliver in turn gave the king his pocket watch to put in the tower of the town hall. And then, with a final wave, Gulliver set sail and took his leave of the little people of Lilliput.